Disability for those over the age of 50. Age really does matter. There are three magical groups once you hit the age of 50. Closely approaching advanced age, that 50 to 54. Advanced age, 55 to 59, and then closely approaching retirement age, 60 to 64. I have said this before. As you get older and you move into those different brackets, the regulations tend to be more in your favor because Social Security recognizes that at the end of the day, as you get older, your ability to adapt to certain things becomes more difficult. Think about it. There are things that, and this is kind of funny, and I've joked about this. Think about this for a hot second. And this is kind of an aside, so just follow with me. You know, I'm 40, I'll be 45 this year. I can honestly say that I grew up with the rotary phone, the push button phone, the block cell phone, the flip phone, and now the smartphone. Those are all the phones that I've experienced through my lifetime. Do you realize that there are children right now who've never seen a push phone or a rotary phone, who don't know what it's like? Like they did a show on Steve Harvey where he took his family, I guess his family took their kids back to the 80s, and they showed a daughter a cell phone which was the size of a brick. And you're like, oh my gosh. And I had to laugh because that was a great example to show. The reality is that as you get older, your ability to adapt to things becomes a little bit more difficult. Not saying you can't adapt to them. It's just the regulations recognize that you're getting further and further removed from those key working years. So as such, they're not dumb when they're looking at the fact of saying that they're gonna be sympathetic towards those individuals. That as you get older, your ability to acclimate and adjust to changes in the workplaces, especially new changes, may be slightly diminished. Not saying that you can't, just saying that they recognize it's a little more difficult. So the regulations tend to be more user-friendly when you move from 50 to 54 into 55 to 59, same way as 60 to 64. So, sometimes if you find yourself applying for disability benefits and you're looking for a representative and your case, when you're wondering, my case, I wasn't sure if it was that strong, but they took my case on. Why? And I asked him, well, how old are you? 54. Well, 53, 54. That's why. Because once you start getting into that age group of 50 and above, age really does matter. And from a Social Security standpoint, the older you are, the regulations tend to be a little bit more in your favor. Now, I'm not saying it's a slam dunk for you because you are older. It's just it tends to be a little bit more in your favor. And a lot of representatives like that because they know that once you hit that magical age of 50 and above, the ability to demonstrate your ability to do other things becomes very important. And the fact that you're in that category gives them the ability to make those determinations of whether or not they believe you're disabled a little bit easier than when you're younger. Because when you're younger, under the age of 49 and younger, it can be a pain in the backside looking at all those things. But again, from the standpoint of being disabled over the age of 50,